Good day, everyone. So, this time I will be presenting to you the third part of the Module 11 titled Producing a Radio Magazine. So, this time I will begin my presentation with a question. With this question, what makes a radio magazine program a good one? I know my um, teammates or group mates have already discussed what radio magazine program is. So this time we will be discussing what makes one a good one. So the objectives for this presentation will be after studying this module or this presentation, we should be able to analyze the key themes and features within the magazine program. The second and the last one is to evaluate the diversity and depth of topics included in the magazine program. So basically, we will be discussing what are the contents of a magazine program. So to enumerate all of these contents, let me flash it on screen. So the first one, as you can see it, is the interview. The second is dialogues. The third one is practical tips and trivia. And then the fourth one is musical number. And the fifth one is news. Sixth is feature story. Seventh is audience participation. And the last one is blogs and spots. So to go back with the question that I first flashed, if what makes a radio magazine program a good one? So to answer this, all of this should be found or could be found in a magazine program. However, I mean in a radio magazine program. However, it does not necessarily mean that all of this content should be part of a specific radio magazine program. One or two might be excluded within a radio magazine program depending on the need of the radio magazine program. But it's not necessary that all of this contents should be part of it. Because again, it is not source oriented that defines what development communication is, but rather it is the message because we are message centric or audience centric. So for as long as that we cater the needs of our audience, then our radio magazine program would be a great one. So to repeat, it does not necessarily mean that all of this content should be part of a specific radio magazine program. We just need to focus on the message so that we would be able to cater the needs of our audiences. Now that's quite a lot. So let's break it down all the contents that you can see on your screen now. So let's begin with what interview is. So when we talk about interview, it is probably with an expert about a topic or with the people on the street about their opinion on a topic or issue or with a person about his or her experience. So I always share this to my class when I'm having my discussion regarding development communication materials. I always tell them that when you produce or when you write something, make sure that you humanize it. Because when you humanize it, people get to understand your message effectively because they can relate to it. That's why interview is being included in a radio magazine program. And then interviews in the radio magazine program are crucial as well as they bring expert insights, first-hand experiences, and diverse perspectives, making the content more informative, engaging, and relatable for listeners. Again, as development communication practitioners, it is not our goal to tell them what they should do, but rather to bridge them with the people who are actually knowledgeable on what these people that we are working with should be doing so that they will be able to harness their full potential. That's the importance of interviewing. The second one for that is the dialogues. So the dialogues are short dramatization of information. So in contemporary, we call it infotainment. So these are dialogues in a radio magazine program. So these are scripted conversations between characters or hosts that help convey information, entertainment, and engage the audience through natural or dynamic exchanges. So this is what we call the infotainment. So these are dramatic in presentation, but are informative so that our audience may learn something from it. The third one is the practical tips or trivia. So this is somehow related to the dialogues. However, these are practical tips or trivia. Let's say, wear your face mask during the COVID-19 pandemic. Or let's say, taking an exercise will make your life a healthy one. Something like that. So these are practical tips which offers listeners quick, useful advice for everyday life, while interviews bring expert insights and unique stories to the program. So, practical tips or trivia in a radio magazine program offer listeners useful advice or interesting facts that are easy to remember and apply, enhancing the show's entertainment and educational value. The next one is a musical number. So maybe rendered by a local talent or from records or CDs or tapes. Some musical numbers in a radio magazine program enhance entertainment, set the mode, and break up dialogue. So they help regulate pacing, reflect cultural themes, and establish the program's identity. Music also strengthens audience connection and keeps listeners engaged. Then, of course, the heart of every radio magazine program is the news. So it can be a short situationer, reports, updates, or announcements. So news in a radio magazine program keeps the content timely, credible, and engaging. So it informs listeners about current events, fosters community discussions, and enhances the program's relevance and trustworthiness. Then the next one is a feature story. So it provides an in-depth look at a topic, event, or person with engaging details and insights. So these are sports, probably sports stories or entertainment. A feature story in a radio magazine program is an in-depth report that highlights a specific person, event, issue, or topic. So this is what we call feature story because it targets the human interest. So it could be sports, or anything that's something that is interesting to the people. All right. So the next one is the audience participation. So it includes phone calls, letters, studio guests, sorry, or visitors. So audience participation in a radio magazine program encourages listener engagement through interactive elements like phone-in, social media feedback, or live polls. So usually, people will call in like asking for advices. These are some of the things that other people or like radio stations are utilizing nowadays. And lastly is the blogs or spots. So brief promotional segments that highlights upcoming events, sponsor messages, or program reminders for listeners. Blogs or spots in a radio magazine program are short promotional segments that advertise upcoming events, programs, or sponsors. Because the lifeline of every radio station, unless they are funded by the government or by any non-government organizations, is of course promotion and advertisements. That's why this is what we call blogs or spots. It will also be an announcement saying that there will be a fiesta coming in, so people should, be participating in the following activities. So these are examples of blogs or spots. So I think that's it for my presentation. Thank you so much once again for listening. So for our discussion forum, let us stick with this question. What makes a radio magazine program a good one? After listening to my discussion and my insights regarding this presentation. So we will now delve deeper into your discussion as well. So what makes a radio magazine program a good one? So for my references, here are my references that I have used for this one. And once again, thank you for listening. I hope that everyone had learned something from my presentation, especially that this is a very short presentation regarding the contents of a radio magazine program. So again, let me flash once again the um, discussion forum. What makes a radio magazine program a good one? Once again, thank you so much. This has been Mix G. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope everyone is safe right now. And I hope that everyone will get through this. Kaya natin to. We will be able to finish this masters all together. Bye bye, and have a great night ahead.